In 6th century BC, a man by the name of Socrates invented something that would go on to affect all of our lives. He questioned what others didn't think to question. He believed things and came up with things that other people didn't think to believe. And the funny thing about Socrates is that he never wrote a book. He refused to write. He refused to write down any of his ideas or put them down on paper. So any single idea we get from Socrates was from a man by the name of Plato, who would sit in his lectures and listen to him and would write down notes. And that was the start of what would go on to become philosophy. I've had my own journey with discovering philosophy through going through hard times, through struggling, through feeling a little bit lost. I searched out there for what could help me change, and philosophy was there. So after studying the likes of Marcus Aurelius and other philosophers, I've put together the most important ideas to help you go through hard times, live a better life, and triumph through any type of challenges that you face. I hope you enjoy these ideas. I hope they can help you as they've helped me, because I think these are truly important. The first big idea in philosophy, and shall I say Stoicism, is that we don't always have control over our options, but we always have control over how we respond to them. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. And another quote is, the more we give power to things out of our control, the less control we have. And if you listen back to those quotes, what I think the Stoics truly wanted us to know is that life is going to be painful. People are going to cheat, people are going to do wrong things. But you always have control over how you respond to those people. It doesn't matter if someone's angry at you, it doesn't matter if someone cuts you off in traffic. All that matters is how you respond. And you can always choose to stay calm and not respond. And that's what this truly means. No matter if people are being loud, no matter if people are doing wrong things, no matter if someone's getting in your way, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you choose to respond in a good way. The second idea is what we call memento mori, meaning remember your death, or in actual translation, remember you must die. Now, it's really easy to think that we're going to live forever, and it's very simple to not take appreciation in little things because we think we'll always be able to have the coffee in the morning. We think we'll always be able to hear the birds singing. But in reality, what philosophers and what Stoics would say is that you don't have forever. And each day, each minuscule little day, as much as it doesn't seem like much, could be the last day that you have. Each time you think as if this were your last day, think about how you would react. Would you be kinder to people? Would you not get mad at the waiter for messing up your order? Would you appreciate the way the birds sing and the way the sun hits your face and the way the wind feels a little bit more? What philosophy truly comes down to is asking questions. And something philosophers would do all the time is question their beliefs. We question all of our beliefs except for those that we truly believe, and those we never think to question. Since the moment we are born, we are forming beliefs. From the people we grow up with, from the music we listen to, from the culture we're around, from our experiences that we have, we form beliefs. And these beliefs can either serve us well, or they can serve us poorly. And if you don't ever question your beliefs, you'll never know which ones serve you well and which ones serve you poorly. So what the philosophers would do is question their beliefs. Why do I think this way? Why do I think that I'm going to get sick if I go out in the cold? And what made me think that way? What caused me to have that belief, even if it's not true? And the more you question every single one of your beliefs, the more you start to realize what's keeping you in the same position you're in. I felt this for a long time with making these videos. I didn't question my beliefs much. I believed that I was doing the right thing. That's why I was doing the same thing forever. And then I questioned my beliefs. I questioned why I believed the style of content I was making was the content I wanted to make. So I switched it. And I realized that that belief, that I was making the right content, that I was doing the thing that I thought I wanted to do, was wrong. So sometimes even the beliefs that we think are so ingrained in us that we don't even think to question them are really the beliefs that are holding us back and keeping us in the same position and are stopping us from making progress forward. Judge a man not by his answers, but by the quality of his questions, said Voltaire. A really important principle from Marcus Aurelius was to see everything in its true nature. He would say that the purple robe he wears is just sheep's hair dipped in blood. He would say the food he eats is just a slaughtered animal. He would break down everything. He would say the applause he gets when he goes on the street is just people clacking their hands together. A lot of people go around chasing the newest phone, the newest car, the newest thing so that they can impress people that they don't actually even care about. When in reality it's just a piece of glass with a little bit of hardware in it, or a big piece of metal with some oil, some fluids, and some rubber. When you really break it down, a lot of the things we ascribe value to aren't truly important. What's truly important is your values, your principles, the things that you live by. Those are what are important, and those are what you should judge a person by. Not the big piece of wood they live in that keeps them warm, not the clothes they wear, not the phone they have, which is really just a piece of glass with some hardware, not how much money, not how much paper they've collected. And this was written by a Roman emperor, a man who had the most power. He had access to as much wealth and as much fame as he wanted. Yet he's talking about how posthumous fame is stupid, and how money doesn't actually matter, and how all that matters is your values, and no matter if you're rich or poor, you can always live by your true values. This is a man who had so much power, and yet he's talking about these things. So if a man like that can have principles like this, to not live with material things and to not act in this way, which is just in accordance to what's the new trend, oh, what's the new TikTok dances and all the things that go around, and just see it for its true nature, what's that say about you or I? Maybe we could live a little bit less materialistically. Maybe a little bit more minimalistically. Maybe we have way more stuff than we actually need, and we could help some other people with that same stuff. Because we say these things bring us happiness, but in reality, they don't. Something I thought about a lot after I started studying philosophy and I read Meditations was how we protect everything that isn't important. We protect our material objects, as I was saying. We protect our houses, our money. Yet the one thing we don't protect is our time, which is truly all we have. You can always make the most of your time regardless where you are. If you're waiting at the doctor's office in a long, boring line, if you're doing a repetitive task which just seems so boring, you should never let your mind wander, and you should never wish that you were in the future, that you were done this task, that you were done waiting in this line. And you should always find a way to enjoy the moment you're in now, because for all you know, it could be the last moment you live in. And this is something philosophers thought about a lot. Your time, each little second of your time, is so valuable because you can never get it back. With no amount of money, with no amount of anything, I can never buy back the seconds that I was just talking a few seconds ago. Those seconds are gone. Nowhere to be seen, and nowhere that they can come back. So you must enjoy each little moment. Find a way to strike up a conversation with someone when you're at the doctor's office waiting in that boring line. Find a way to appreciate the fact that you've gotten so good at this task that it feels repetitive. Find a way to just be a little bit grateful for what you're doing, and find some gratitude even if it seems like what you're doing is the most boring thing and you just want to be done with it and you just want to get over it and move on in the future. And alright, once this hour passes, I can't wait till this hour passes because life's going to get better. Don't say that. The philosophers would say don't say that. Don't say you wish for an hour to pass by. Say you get to have an hour that you can do this boring repetitive task. You get to sit in that line and wait. An important principle in philosophy is to pursue hard things. In our modern world, there is comfort and pleasure everywhere you go. But do we really find these things pleasurable? Musonius Rufus said, if you accomplish something good with hard work, the labor passes quickly and the pleasure endures. But if you act in pleasure, the pleasure passes quickly, but the shame endures. It's hard work that makes us feel content in our life. It's hard work. It's doing the things that we said we didn't want to do because they're hard, but that we still end up doing because we know they're important, that truly makes us fulfilled inside, that truly makes us look back on our life and go, I've accomplished stuff and I feel content and fulfilled. Not just happy, not just some feeling, but just a genuine fulfillment. And that's what hard work does. So as much as it's easy to seek pleasures and to seek McDonald's and to seek scrolling for hours on TikTok, what philosophy says is that you shouldn't seek those things. You should seek to do hard things. The final idea in philosophy I wanted to mention in this video is a really important one that once I started to think about, everything changed. And that's that we are all made up of one universe, meaning we all come from the same place and we are all related. Now, if you believe that the Big Bang is what caused all our universe, the Earth, the moon, everything, if you believe that's what truly caused everything, then that's also to say that we all came from one event. We all came from the same marble that ended up exploding, meaning that we all come from the exact same place, meaning we're all related in some way. So you should try to strive to do as much good as possible for others. Don't step on that little ant or that little bug or kill the fly that's bugging you. Think about it in the way of if it's all from the same place. By hurting it, you hurt yourself. In a way, by doing bad things to others, you only do bad to yourself. So the next time you think you're gonna get mad at that person or do that thing that's probably not that good and that you probably shouldn't do, you must think, I come from the same place. I'm made up of the same universe which makes this person. Me making the video, you watching the video, this camera, we're all made from the same event which made everything. Meaning I should try and do everything in my power to help you as much as I can. I should try and do everything in my power to not kill the fly and to let it live. Because really, it doesn't take much for me to grab a cup or for me to do something, capture the fly and let it out of my house. It really doesn't. And if that little thing, if that little event can change so much in history and can change so much in the future, then why don't I do it? And that's something that after studying philosophy, I started thinking about for so long, is that why not treat people the best way you can treat them? Because in the end, the better you treat others, the better you feel and the better you treat yourself. Or maybe don't, and maybe none of this matters anyway. Until next time, see ya.